Do you believe that 1 million is a huge amount of money? Then let me tell you something that might sound shocking. As long as you think that way, you'll never come close to having it. 1 million only seems like a lot because you haven't yet learned how to make it feel small. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract money effortlessly while others struggle their entire lives and still barely manage to cover their bills each month? It has nothing to do with luck or intelligence or where they were born. And you know what? It's not even about working hard either. The truth, and this might make you a little uncomfortable at first, is that most people simply don't know how to earn real money. They think they know, but if they truly did, they'd already be doing it. They believe they need more effort, more hours, more degrees, more training. But all of that is just surface level. What's truly missing is awareness, and awareness, my friend, changes everything. You don't earn around $90,000 a year because that's what you want. You earn it because you're not aware of how to make that much in a month. See the difference? This isn't about desire, it's about your level of consciousness. And if that sounds crazy, it's only because you're still stuck in the old way of thinking. The way we were raised, by our parents, teachers, the media, shaped a very limited perception of what's real and what's possible. They told you money is hard to earn, rich people are greedy, asking for too much is selfish, and dreaming big is dangerous. But they were wrong. Not because they were bad people, but because they didn't know any better. They were unconscious themselves. From the moment you were conceived, your subconscious began absorbing everything around you. It doesn't analyze, and it just accepts, like a sponge. All those ideas created your paradigm, an invisible structure that determines how you think, how you feel, how you act, and how you earn money. The cruelest part? Most people live the same year over and over again. The calendar changes, but their life doesn't. They stay stuck in the same cycle. One day I grabbed a notebook and wrote, "I'm going to build a company that operates worldwide." At that time, I had no team, no structure, and no money. But I had awareness. And that awareness alone was enough to set everything in motion. The universe responds not to your current circumstances, but to the clarity of your vision. If today you're stuck in a draining job, living on the edge, watching time slip by while nothing changes, maybe the only thing that needs to change is what's between your ears. Because when you elevate your consciousness, your reality must shift. It's not a matter of luck, it's a matter of law. And no, this isn't just philosophy. Science has already proven that the human brain is malleable. Neuroscience calls it neuroplasticity, and it means you can literally reprogram your mind. You can build new connections, new beliefs, new patterns, and when that happens, your perception changes. Your decisions shift. Your results follow suit. Now be honest with me. How do you feel when you think about 1 million? Anxiety, distance, impossibility? That's not reality. It's just a mirror of your current state of awareness. And the good news is that can be changed. It doesn't matter if you're 20, 40, or 80 years old. I started this journey at 26. And at 87, I'm still teaching it. Because it works. It works for those willing to wake up. So the question is, will you keep living in a world where 1 million feels out of reach? Or will you build a world where 1 million is just the beginning? The answer is already within you. And once you realize that 1 million will seem small, very small, because you were made for so much more. You can study, apply new strategies, find a better job, move cities, start a business. But if your paradigm doesn't shift, nothing will truly change. I know that might sound strange at first, but let me explain it simply. Your paradigm is the autopilot of your life, an invisible system of beliefs and habits guiding your choices without your awareness. It's like a program running in your subconscious, installed decades ago, and now silently setting the boundaries of your reality. This paradigm began forming long before you could choose your thoughts. From the moment you were conceived, your parents' DNA combined and everything around you started shaping you. A child's subconscious mind is like an empty glass, wide open to receive input from the environment. And every word, feeling, and behavior experienced was poured into that glass. And that's what shaped who you are today. I walk into a company and ask the vice president of sales, "Can you tell me right now how your team will perform in October?" He pauses, checks the past data, and gives me a number. And most of the time he's right. Why? Because most people follow predictable patterns. The average salesperson stays average. The excellent one keeps excelling. and the one barely holding on and remains in the same struggle month after month, close to being fired. Why is that? Because their mental program hasn't changed. If the program doesn't change, behavior doesn't change, and if the behavior stays the same, so do the results. You might think you're doing everything right, but if you keep facing the same money problems, the same limitations, the same frustrations, that's a clear sign something deeper is holding you back. That something is your paradigm. It's hidden but powerful. It convinces you that you're not good enough, makes you doubt every step, and sabotages your progress halfway through. And the worst part, it does it so subtly that you think those decisions are truly yours, but they're not. I often say, it's not that people lack potential. Everyone has it. The problem is that most people go years with that potential, buried deep inside, hidden beneath layers of mental conditioning and limiting beliefs. And that's heartbreaking. It's like having a treasure buried in your backyard, but never digging deep enough to find it. And believe me, I know what that feels like. I've lived it. I was always broke, exhausted from draining jobs and drowning in debt, until someone told me, if you do exactly what I say, you can have anything you want. And for the first time, I really listened. I changed my paradigm. And when that changed, my whole life transformed. You need to understand this once and for all. Your outer world is an exact reflection of your inner world. Switching jobs, moving countries, trying new fields won't help. If deep down you still believe you're not worthy, that it's hard, that it's only for a few, then you'll keep attracting lack and limitation. The universe responds to your vibration. If you're stuck in survival mode, you'll keep attracting situations where all you do is survive, never thrive, never expand. Now imagine what would happen if you started to reprogram yourself. If you told yourself every day, I am capable, I am worthy. Money flows to me with ease. I create opportunities. Everything would begin to shift. If you don't change the program running inside you, your mind will always pull you back to what's familiar, what feels safe, what's comfortable, even if that comfort is filled with lack and frustration. So if you want $1 million to feel like a small amount, you urgently need to rewrite the inner voice that keeps telling you it's too much, it's impossible, it's not for you. As long as that program is still running, no matter how hard you try, you'll remain stuck in the same reality. And that's not an opinion, it's a law. The good news is it can be changed. Everything shifts when your paradigm shifts. And the decision to change starts now, inside you, because that's where the key has always been. The biggest prison that keeps people from the life they truly want isn't debt, lack of time, or missed opportunities. It's the inability to decide. Procrastination is just the most visible symptom of that failure. The root lies in hesitation, fear of being wrong, and the habit of waiting for perfect conditions, which never come. Every time you delay a meaningful decision, you reinforce an escape pattern that weakens your confidence, your clarity, and your momentum. Decision is the spark of every transformation. Without it, there's no consistent action. Without action, there's no change. And without change, everything stays the same. That's why people live the same year over and over, not because they don't want to change, but because they don't decide to change. I remember when my son Raymond wanted to quit the swim team. He didn't just want to quit. He wanted me to make the decision for him. I refused. I told him it was his choice. But before he left the room, I made one thing clear. If you give up now, it'll be easier next time, and even easier the time after that, until quitting becomes part of who you are. He thought about it, stayed, and learned that choosing to continue, even in discomfort, builds inner strength. And the same applies to you. It's not about being certain, it's about choosing and moving forward, because clarity comes from the choice, not the other way around. Studies show that decisive people have higher self-esteem, more initiative, and are more likely to reach big goals. Decision puts you in motion, and movement brings opportunities that would never appear if you stayed still. If you want to develop this power, try this powerful practice. Read the chapter on decision from the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill every day for 60 days. Read it aloud. If you can, read it with someone else, taking turns. This practice will begin to realign your mental and emotional patterns, strengthening your ability to say yes to what expands you and no to what limits you. In the end, it's not what you know that transforms your life. It's what you decide to do with what you know. And your next decision could be the bridge between the life you have and the life you truly deserve. So decide now, because delaying is not neutral, it's destructive, and choosing is freeing. Everything you want already exists, it's already here. Just not where you're looking, and not in the way you're thinking. The life you're seeking, with more freedom, more money, more opportunities, is on a different frequency than where you are now. And as long as you keep thinking, feeling, and acting the same way, you'll stay aligned with the same reality you're living today. Because that's how the universe works. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you're in vibrational harmony with. And most people never stop to consider that. Many people believe they're trapped by debt, the past, lack of time, or fear. But in truth, they're stuck in a frequency. And frequency is a choice you make. You don't have to know how to change everything. You just need to begin thinking differently, because every transformation starts with a single thought. I remember clearly the moment this became real to me. It was the year 1973. I was sitting on a couch in a simple room with a notebook in my hands. In that moment, I wrote a sentence that felt insane. I'm going to build a company that operates all over the world. I didn't have a penny saved, no business partners, no team, no clue where to begin. But I had the vision, and more importantly, I had the feeling. Every day I mentally placed myself in that reality, and I held that frequency for years, until one day the phone rang. "Bob, we've just reached every country in the world." And it all started on that couch, with one idea, but more than that, with the decision to vibrationally align myself with that idea. Here's what you need to understand. When a powerful and clear image enters your mind, it shifts your frequency, and if you hold that image, it begins attracting what matches it. Opportunities, people, ideas, resources. The outer world starts reorganizing itself around your inner vibration. And this isn't a metaphor, this is physics. Science has already shown that our thoughts are forms of energy, and energy moves in waves. Every emotionally charged thought sends out a vibration to the surrounding field. Whether it's fear or desire, when you think with strong emotion, you're sending a wave into the field, and the field responds with things in tune with it. That's why so many people are stuck in scarcity. They constantly focus on debt, lack, fear, and shortage, and they vibrate scarcity, so life gives them more of the same. And the worst part is, they think they're being realistic. But being realistic in this case just means reacting to what already exists, instead of tuning into what's possible. You'll never hear the right song if your radio is tuned to the wrong station, and your mind works the same. You've got to align with the frequency of what you want. Think as if it's already yours. Feel as if you're already living it. Because that's how manifestation works. First you become it inside, then you see it outside. You might say, "But Bob, how can I think like a millionaire when my account is in the red?" And I get that, I truly do. But that's the breakthrough. You don't pretend, you access the mindset of someone who's already succeeded, and that's what changes everything. If you wait for the conditions to change before changing your vibration, you'll wait forever. It's your energy field that changes the conditions, not the other way around. It's like a video call. You only see and hear the other person when you're on the same frequency, and that same principle applies to ideas, opportunities, and money. You have to train your mind daily to hold the image of the life you want to live, and that takes mental discipline and emotional courage. Very few people actually reach their goals, because most don't have the persistence to stay on the right frequency long enough. Have you ever noticed how some people always seem to be in the right place at the right time, effortlessly attracting clients, ideas, and opportunities? That's not luck, it's frequency. They already see themselves as prosperous, and their energy reflects that belief to the world around them. They radiate certainty, clarity, and confidence, and others feel it. The universe simply mirrors back what they continuously broadcast. You've probably also met someone who carries a cloud of negativity, someone whose presence weighs down the room and drains the energy. That person is vibrating too, but with fear, worry, and self-doubt. And life returns to them exactly what they're holding within. Everything you desire already exists, but it's waiting for you on another level. You reach it by shifting your inner frequency. And that shift begins with a powerful question. How would someone who's already living the life I want think, feel, and act each day? Ask yourself that every day. Answer honestly. Then start showing up as that version of yourself, no matter what others say. Ignore what your bank account says. Ignore what your past tries to remind you. All that matters is who you're choosing to be right now. When you consistently embody your higher self with clarity, purpose, and action, the world responds, because universal laws never fail. Are you ready to align with what you truly want? Then stop trying to change your circumstances. Change your frequency instead. The moment you truly step into alignment with your desire, it begins moving toward you, faster than you might expect. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are, so if you want bigger results, you must become a bigger version of yourself on the inside. Adjust your frequency, elevate your awareness, make a new decision, and shift your paradigm, and your external world will follow. If these words move something inside you, don't stop here. The next video on your screen is your next step in evolving your wisdom. Here's one more rung on the ladder that helps you become 1% better than you were before. Watch closely. I'll be there waiting for you.